Hello friends! Okay, this is my third watercolor beach painting for the day. I'm going to do one more. This is going to be the last one in this series of three. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. They've all been the same size. I did the first one landscape, the second one portrait, and then this one I'm going to do landscape as well. So this time, I think what I want to do is I'm gonna have rocks over here again, but then I'm gonna have all of this be ocean and sky. I'm gonna try and make it to where the beach kind of does this, and maybe there's a couple of waves that are coming in, and we are going to have maybe some rocks in the water where those waves are hitting, and it's going to kind of fade into, it's going to fade into the beach here. And then let's kind of have a rock coming up this way maybe. And let's have maybe a background island doing this. And let's bring our horizon line, it's going to be about here. You know what? I don't want this rock below the horizon line. I think it needs to come up above it. Otherwise, it's going to look weird, right? Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it would be fine. Maybe this line of surf needs to come down some. Okay. Let's get some of these random lines while I was thinking kind of squared away. Do I want that coming out that much? I don't think that I do. Okay, we're gonna call like that. I'm gonna do that and that. Maybe we put like a rock on the beach here. Okay, and then we're gonna erase this line, and that's our horizon-ish. Okay, does that make sense? Does that look good? Okay, let's erase this line here. Okay, let's get started. Same as always, we're gonna start with the sky. Get my palette here, bring it over. You know what, let's get this wet. There's already some blue pigment in this water, but that's because I've been painting. So get that wet. Now let's pick up some paint. Start at the top and let's fade that sky down. Let's see how quickly I can do this painting. I plugged in my phone as it's trying to record, but I don't know how well it's going to charge while I'm recording. So we're going to try and get this painting done really quick. Plus, I'm warmed up now, right? I've done 2 other paintings. This is my 3rd one. I should be able to move a little faster, yes? Yes. All right, let's go ahead and put in some light, soft color for our rocks. Ooh, that's a little darker than I anticipated. Starting off. That's okay. We're gonna go ahead and take some plain water and go over that. Because this is in the background, I do want it to be a little lighter. So there, I dried off my brush so that my brush was thirsty, and that helps to soak up some of the water. Okay, I'm gonna grab this and we're gonna drop in some more brown for this rock here. Kind of just get this color blocked out. We'll add some texture to it in a few moments. We have a rock in the water here, a rock in the water here, and a rock on the beach there. Okay. Now we do have 2 lines of surfer waves that are coming in, and then we're going to have the beach over here. I actually want the beach to kind of fade to white And then we're going to do like a greenish yellowy sand. So a sandy yellow, white, greenish yellowy sand going into more aquamarine color into like a really dark blue. That's my thought. That's what I'm going to try for. That way it looks like we have deep blue sea back here and surface sea or surface ocean beach here. Okay, you know what I mean. All right, let's go. I'm actually going to use a little cadmium yellow mixed with my yellow ochre this time. Try for a slightly different kind of beach color. It may be too bright. I may regret it, but that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to do that. And I said I was going to fade it to white, so we're not going to put too much of this color in here. We're going to allow that to fade out like so. Leave a little bit in there. And then right in here, I want to mix some of that yellow with a little bit of blue to have a little greenish color coming in like so. Is that going to be too green? I'm going to just stipple this along the edge right here because I really do want there to be like a nice clean, not clean, but, well, it is going to be clean, just not smooth. A clean but jagged white surf to that. This may be too green. I'm going to have to color correct this. This may be too green. In my brain, it makes sense. We're going to try and fix it. But if the sand is yellow and the water's blue, then it would make it kind of green, right? Okay, we're going to try and make that transition a little better. All right, so then we're going to have a slightly more blue color coming in here. Still kind of like a bluish green. And don't worry, we can go over this a couple times in order to color correct. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this green with this blue that I just made. We're just going to make that not look so green, maybe. You know what I mean? All right. So let's do this. All right. I got to make sure that I don't get rid of the white that I need in order for it to look like the splash rolling in. I do want it to look like there is splashiness rolling in. We're going to have to make this darker along a couple of these edges in order to get the shadowing correct, right? All right, so we're going to come along this edge too, leaving that white, and bring that blue all the way over. And we're going to have to make this darker, but just for now, so that I can see and visualize it, we're going to go ahead and kind of do that. Okay, does that look like waves rolling in? A little bit, like little ones, not big ones. Okay, let's bring in a little more blue. I need to go faster. I said I was going to speed paint this. We're already like at the 8-minute mark. I don't think I'm going very speedy. What do you think? Okay, so let's start with the darker. I'm still working on the ocean. I'm going to bring this darker blue color up here. And we're going to work it down all the way down in here. And we're going to get this all along this edge where the surf is coming in, or this wave. What is that called? I've been calling it surf. Is that the right term? I don't really know. Surfers surf on the surf, right? That's the wave, the white part that splashes up, looking all oxygenated and whatnot. And then let's make a thin line, but leave some white so it looks like there's highlighting in the water. Does that make sense? Like it's glistening, like the water is glistening. Okay. I feel like that's getting where we want it to be. I'm going to dab in make some of this smooth, then dab in some of this darker color right along the edge here. And then maybe make a few little areas that are left out for highlights. Don't worry, we're going to go in and kind of make everything a little bit darker. And then I'm going to bring in some of this color right up underneath here. Make this dark, a little darker up underneath this rolling wave that's coming in. Maybe just like that. And then it's gonna be, that'll be kind of lighter, maybe. Maybe if I fade that out into like some streaks, like it's washing out over the sand like this. Okay, maybe a little bit of water is coming up further like this. Okay, I can kind of get behind that. Cool. All right, I still feel like this needs to go darker, but I'm gonna give the water a second to dry. While we're giving the water a second to dry, let's do some more brown. Okay, let's make our rocks have some texture and a little more character coming in here like so. Okay, and then let's go darker towards the bottom of this rock. Bring that up. And then I probably should let it dry some so that I can properly layer. Okay, and then I think that maybe I will add, since we have green down here, maybe this one up this far away island can have a little bit of green fading into that light brown on it. And bring some of that color in so it feels more balanced. Does that look good? I think that looks good. Maybe we bring a little bit of shadow in on the sand over here. Not sure if I love that, but I'm just thinking it would be darker behind the rock, right? We'll just let it fade. No, I think that looks okay. We're gonna go with that. Okay, so let's see here. This part of the ocean I feel like needs to be darker. I feel like it really needs to like darken up. I even feel like this over behind where some of these rocks are, I feel like those need to be darker too. I feel like that needs to be darker, but first I feel like I need to make, let's see, I need to make our rocks that we had kind of here pop more, because I have not really added more contrast to those. So we've got some rocks in the water that the ocean's kind of splashing around. So we'll do that. And there's that one that's kind of on the sand. And then we have these ones. They would need to be darker along this side. Let's kind of do bottom and right for where we're going to add darkness. So towards the bottom and to the right, towards the bottom, and we're going to go to the right. Okay, bottom and to the right, bottom and to the right. This just helps me to kind of visualize and decide on where the shadows are. So it's bottom and the right hand side of every little piece of rock. Okay, bottom and right. That look like a little rocky outcropping? I think so. I think it looks pretty good. All right. Darker back behind here. Let's go this darker blue and let's mix it maybe with a little bit of this. Okay. I feel like there needs to be a darker blue coming in here, and it's going to be splashing up this way. All of this would actually be dark, right? It would be dark all the way through like that. And then it would be, depending on how deep the ocean is right here, right? I mean, it's our painting. We can make it as deep as we want, right? It's ultra deep. No, I'm kidding. Okay. All right, so we have darkness up underneath that one. I need to do the same kind of thing up underneath this. Stipple it in, make it a little bit darker up underneath there. I need this to be darker too. I'm going to use some blue, but I'm also going to do a little bit of that bluish green because I need it to look like it's on top of the sand, but I still want it to have some darker shadowing. There, kind of dark. That makes sense. It's like rolling in, right? Rolling in. We would have some like that. Okay, more of this blue. Make it dark here. Okay, yeah, I think that that's looking good. Okay, I need to darken up this horizon. That horizon is way too light. I'm gonna use my fatter brush for this. Okay. We are looking for deeper blue sea. And for it to be deeper, it needs to be darker. So ocean back here, it's farther away, it's further out from the shore. That means it's deeper and it's gonna be darker. There we go. Now, I do not want to lose my white zone, so I'm going to get my brush, dry it off some, go around the little spots that I've saved for white. I'm going to blend it out. I get my tiny brush in order to put a darker zone right up underneath. And then I'm going to go around the white areas and fade it out. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I like that. All right, all the others. We've put birds in the sky. Are we putting birds in the sky? No. All right, but we are going to get a little bit darker on this rock right here because I feel like this rock is a little too light. And we decided the dark areas were to the bottom and to the right on all of our rocks. So we're going to say bottom and right on the bottom and to the right. We have darker areas. Let's go ahead and make a few of these darker as well. A little darker, much darker down here on the bottom. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. We're going to go ahead and sign our name. So I think I'm going to use the rock color this time to sign the name. Is this dry? It's dry. Okay. 25. All right, thank you so much. Until next time.